Hey guys, how are you today? I am just hopping in today to talk to you about VA businesses, successful building blocks to your online business. We're all constantly thinking about how we can make our businesses a success, and after all, our businesses are our babies. Let me just see, as I always do on these, swipe left and see whether I can see anyone online. Guys, if you are online, please give me a wave or a heart or a like or something. Say hello so that I know that I am not some crazy person sitting talking to myself. So, yeah, as I say, when we start our online ventures, we want to make sure that they are going to be a success. And of course, like any business, there are some crucial building blocks to those businesses that we need to have in place. And what I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about what those are and take any questions that you guys might have around starting your, I'm just going to put my tea bag away, around starting your VA business and getting those building blocks in place so that you can make sure that your business is going to be a successful one. So I believe that there are probably 10 main building blocks to your VA business, and I'm going to talk you briefly through them all, and you can ask questions and put comments and give me a wave at the same time. So, hey Louise, yay, I'm not alone. Thank you for hopping on, my love, because now I don't feel like a crazy lady talking to myself, which, let's face it, when you run an online business from home, sometimes you are that crazy person talking to yourself, or as I often find, although he's not here right now, my cat. So, building block number one. When you start any kind of business, when you're starting your venture, you need to make sure, this is really important, that you understand why you're doing it. Now, I know that many of you will be going, well, I'm doing it to make money. No judgment, nothing wrong with that. But if you look deeper, I suspect that there's another reason why all of you running your VA businesses already, and those of you that are looking to start your VA businesses, are doing this. And understanding why you're doing it, what truly makes you tick, and what you hope to get out of running your own business is absolutely crucial. If you like to think about it this way, having that sort of big why or that vision in place to really understand what drives you and where you're trying to get to will not only help you to map out the way forward and understand where you're trying to get to, but it will also, if you've got a really clear vision, it will help you to keep going when you're having one of those days. And as an entrepreneur, I guarantee you, I'm sure all of you that are already running businesses are sitting manically nodding right now, you're going to need that sometimes because it's a bit of a roller coaster. Lots of highs, lots of lows, and it's just generally a bit of a crazy ride. So, first of all, building block, get yourself absolutely clear on what your big why is and why you're building this business. Now, second of all, building block two, this is a big one. When I left my PA job to start my business, I came out of 15 years of corporate PA dom and being bottom rung of the ladder in a large blue chip organisation. I had a really understanding boss, but in terms of hierarchy, I was lowest of the low. I had a payment cap. I couldn't earn any more. My opinions were always the ones that were probably considered last, especially at the beginning. Maybe not by the time I actually left that job and was really valued by my boss. But what I had was 15 years worth of my opinions and confidence being suppressed. Now, for many of you, I'm sure this won't be an issue, but I know for some of you, whether you want to admit it or not, there are confidence issues coming from being in support functions, particularly when you're in employment in support functions. And this isn't usually an issue if you continue in your employment. But if you're stepping out and starting your own business and you've got low self-belief and low confidence and you aren't used to putting your voice forward or standing up and putting forward your opinion, your ideas, you're going to struggle because we have to We have to talk about ourselves positively. We have to promote ourselves. We have to promote our businesses. That employee mindset or that negative perception of our own skills and of our own worth can really hold us back. So number two, building block number two, is to do the right things to address any issues that you have with your own self-belief and confidence. Now remember that you guys have all got experience, whatever your experience is in, whether it's PA stuff, whether it's HR stuff, whether it's being a mum, whether it's being a dad, whatever it is, you've all got life experiences and solid experience that you bring to your business. So you just need to get in the right space to understand that, to be able to move forward and be that CEO in your business. Make sense? Cool. Promise there's only 8 more of these. You're all really excited this morning, aren't you? Oh, hi Susan. Morning. So building block 3. And this is one that I think people often skip over or don't really know how to do, so they kind of just brush it under the carpet. But for me, for anyone that knows me, you'll all be knowing what's coming up. It's understanding who your client is. So whether you call it your ideal client, your dream client, your client avatar, your niche, whatever it is, it's the same thing. It's understanding who your services are for, who you are for, and what they need, and how you can speak to them. So I get people that kind of do that. Well, my ideal client is small businesses, or it's anyone that's looking for a VA. That's not good enough. I'm sorry to say. In this online world, you need to stand out. You need to be the person that is an obvious choice for your clients. And the only way to do that in a sea of VAs, and there is room for everybody, by the way, but the only way to do that in a sea of VAs is to be specific. And that doesn't mean that you have to go, I only work with these particular people and I'm never going to take inquiries from people that don't match this precise avatar. But it means that you need a person or a personality or a business type or whatever it is, a detailed avatar to direct your marketing towards. Because if you are just going out there generically, you are not going to stand out. So by trying to appeal to everybody, you are just not going to stand out for anyone. So make sure that you spend a great deal of time before you do anything else to do with your business. Once you've done the vision, once you've done the self-belief, get in the zone and understand who you're actually trying to market to, who you're trying to work with. That'll be so useful. And I think that underpins quite a few of the other things that you have to deal with in terms of launching your business. Hi Lorraine, hi Jackie, you're listening at work. Good for you, my dear. Do they know? Are you being sneaky? So building block 4 is understanding what your services are going to be. As I've already said, VAs come from all kinds of different backgrounds. We're not just PAs, we're not just admin, we're not just secretarial, we're not just any of those things, and we're never just a just. But what we are is business owners that come from a whole wealth of backgrounds. So it could be HR, it could be a web design, it could be none of these things. It can be loads and loads of different types of experience that they then bring to their VA businesses, to their online freelancing careers. So you need to think about what you're good at and what you love doing and bin the rest off. Don't think that you have to offer absolutely everything to everyone. You know what you're good at, you know what you enjoy. So it's time to start capitalizing on that, focusing on what you can bring to the table, what you can do for your clients, and packaging them up in a way that is attractive to your clients. And of course, having done building block 3 of understanding who your ideal client is, you're going to know exactly what it is that they need, what their affordability is. You're going to know how to talk about charging your worth, because you will have been full of self-confidence from building block 2. So you'll just know how to package those services up. You need to make sure that you're not doing any of that stuff that you don't like doing anymore. And guess what? Because you're now the business owner, you don't have to do any of that stuff that you don't enjoy doing anymore. You can focus on the stuff that you love. I'm just going to say a quick hi. Hello, Jackie. You know, I've said hello to Jackie. Definitely had an ideal client light bulb moment and rebranding, new website as a result. Brilliant, Susan. Fabulous. You're going to have to keep us posted with how that's changing, or if that's changed for you, if that's changed kind of leads that are coming in for you or what. But having that light bulb and understanding who it is that you're trying to work with is absolutely key, really crucial. Oh, Jackie, work on your own. Brilliant. Sorry, I thought you were saying you were in an office. Well, does your boss know then, Jackie? Is she being nice to you today? Hi, Sarah. So halfway there, building block 5. Once you understand all of those things, you're going to need to think about the systems and the tech that you're going to need to support your business. It's no good being in an online world working virtually with your clients if you are afraid of tech. Now, does it mean that you have to be tech savvy and okay with building, complicated sales funnels for your clients? No, it doesn't. But you as a business owner, an online business owner, are going to need to investigate and understand systems and software and apps that help you to work smartly and productively, and more importantly, happily and easily. So whether it's kind of looking into the best time tracking software, or whether it's task management, or whether it's payment gateways, or ways to do your online cloud-based accounting, you're going to need to have that lit. So spending some time to investigate the essential systems and tech that you need to run your own business and to support your clients is absolutely essential. What I would advise you to do around now, because I get quite a lot of people, particularly at the beginning of my training, saying to me, well, which software do I need? I've seen all these different bits and bobs, is don't get distracted by all of the conversations that go on in the groups. There are so many apps and software that all do very different and sometimes very similar things. Just focus on what you need to do at the beginning to run your business safely and effectively, and to support any of your clients that you have. If and when things come in that you then need additional systems or apps or software in your own business, or something comes up for a client, you can invest in that then. But there's no point in investing in a million different things or trying to learn a million different things in the beginning, because your brain's already going to be overwhelmed and you may never need it. So systems and tech, get it on board. So building block 6, important one as well, is your what I like to call your core business setup. So what I'm talking about there is your legalities, your contracts, getting your insurance in place, making sure that you are handling your clients and your own data in the right way. If you're doing anything around the financials, getting your anti-money laundering in place. All of these things you need to make sure that you are putting together and putting in place before you work with clients, not when you are halfway through working with clients. This stuff needs to be done before you are working with your clients. There's been so much chatter at the moment about VAs that have worked with their clients. They haven't got a contract signed. The clients now said, well, actually, I want to change things, or I'm not going to pay you. If you have no contract in place, and no boundaries set out in a contract, no sort of terms of business or way that you work, how do you enforce that stuff? How do you make sure that this is a professional and safe relationship? We give away with our training the fabulous Annabelle Kay's VA specific contracts. I also really recommend those. I will put a link to those in this Facebook Live as well. It's not expensive and it's an absolute investment in your business. So if you are starting out and you aren't on our training, maybe you should join our training. But if not, then seriously, joking aside, you need to think about investing in some good contracts. Insurance wise, making sure that you're covered for professional indemnity, public liability if you do on-site stuff, or if you see people, thinking about cyber insurance. There's thinking about business insurance. So what happens if you spill a mug of tea on your laptop? All those things you need to have a think about. And as I've already said, GDPR, data protection, making sure that you are handling things in the right way is an absolute essential as well. If you're doing anything around bookkeeping, invoicing, financials, you really do need to be anti-money laundering registered. There's been fines. Some people in the hub, some people in our membership that didn't realise they needed to be registered, who then sort of held their hands up and said, I've been doing this, have been fined for doing stuff. So this isn't just a kind of nice to have. You guys need to be running your businesses in this way. And in the end, your VA business isn't a sideline. It is a business. It's a professional entity. So make sure that you have all of that. How does Annabelle put it? Your underwear in, good solid underwear to make sure your outfit is looking good. Annabelle, you can let me know later if I did it justice. So building block 7, you're going to now be thinking about your, your outward perception. So your branding, your website, your social media, how you are marketing yourself. Again, relying back on your... Sarah, I've just seen your comment. I will put the link to Annabelle's contracts in the chat in a bit. Once I've just finished chatting, I'll put the link to the contracts in there. Like I say, we give them away as part of our training, but you can buy them independently as well. So remind me and I will do that. So yes, branding, website, social media marketing. From doing your ideal client avatar exercise at the beginning of this, you will understand the kind of problems that your ideal client has. And I would suggest that you need to sort of tailor your branding, your messaging, what you're putting out on social media, your blogging and everything to those problems and to the issues and the specifics that your ideal client has. People will do so much more to move away from pain than they will ever do to move towards pleasure. So as masochistic as it sounds, you need to be talking about the stuff that they're stressing about. So you need to be talking about their lack of time. You need to be talking about the fact they're drowning under their running their business when they should be spending time with their clients. You need to be talking about the fact that they're not being at home enough because they're spending so much time running their business and because they're not outsourcing. All that stuff you need to be talking about so that they go, oh my God, yeah, this person understands me. They understand, exactly where I'm at. And look, they've got solutions about things that I can do. Never go for the hard sell. This is a relationship-driven industry. You need to be providing valuable content, stuff that's relevant to people, and then you can start the conversation. It's got to be much more of a softer conversation. So yeah, building block 7, get your online presence, videos if you can, if you feel brave enough, stuff out there that's connecting with your ideal client and is going to, start the building or nurturing of that relationship. So then building block 8 is about your network and your relationships. So I've just said relationship-driven industry, and I'm not just talking about your relationships with your potential and your actual clients. I'm talking about your peer relationships as well. So one of the biggest differences that I see between successful VA businesses and those that are struggling is that the successful ones usually have a really strong peer community. They usually have attend networking meetings or a part of something like my membership group, where they are constantly supported by other business owners in the same arena, in the same situation, not only from a sort of nurturing and support and understanding and, cheerleading point of view, but also from the point that, VAs all do such different things that there is a lot of cross referral that goes on between them. So if you have sorry for that interruption, someone was calling me. If you have a really solid, trusted peer network with people that do slightly different or similar things to you, you can really easily cross refer work and collaborate with them to create really exciting sort of differences in your business or new opportunities. So make sure that you are spending as much time nurturing your peer relationships as you are nurturing your client and potential client relationships as well. So let me just see. Oh, also need to be doing this on the same platform where your client hangs out. Yeah, good point, Susan. Just to take a step back, talking about networking or branding and putting stuff out there. Yep, you need to be focusing on the same platforms as your ideal clients. So again, that all happens from understanding who they are and where they hang out. We've got several exercises that we can share with you guys for free around how to nail your ideal client. And again, we go through all of that in our training on where to find them. So moving on to building block 9, this is a really important one, and actually my focus for, I've said this is a really important one for all of them, but it's true, you need all of these things in place. This is one of the ones that I'm focusing on this year, which is around self-care and survival through self-care. And I've not really ever seen another training program or business training program or any other sort of network that really focuses as heavily on survival through self-care. And the reason that I do is because I have been on the wrong side of not taking care of myself and, running businesses and not really looking after myself. So I really, really spend a lot of time focusing on this, about taking the time to make sure that you're okay, I guess is probably the headline. So this isn't talking about just going to the spa for no reason and floating around and skiving off of work. What I'm talking about is understanding that running your own business is hard. It's hard physically, it's hard emotionally. The highs and lows are so much higher and so much lower than I think you ever get, well, personally, that I think you ever get in an employed role. And riding that can really take its toll on you. We end up working much longer hours usually, even though we say we'll work less, we work more, we have greater passion for what we do. And it's about understanding that sometimes you're going to need to take time out of that business as part of your business strategy to fill yourself up and make sure that you are taking care of your own physical and mental health. So make sure that you are taking time, planning time as part of your business strategy, to go for a daily walk, take your dogs out for a walk, read a book, do some yoga, go to the gym. It's not self-indulgent. You aren't wasting time. You are taking care of your business's greatest asset, which is you. So making sure that you've got some sort of time in your diary to practice survival through self-care is really, really important. And then my final building block 10 is planning. Planning. What is it? Fail to plan. No. Fail to plan. Plan to fail. There you go. My brain's not working this morning. But if it's true. It's really, really true. If you don't do any planning for your business or set yourselves goals, how will you firstly know when you have succeeded, or when to buy yourself that extra handbag or whatever to reward yourself for meeting your goals? But where will you know where you're going? If you don't have a plan, you'll just drift through, and suddenly you'll be 18 months into your business, you won't have set yourself any new milestones, and that's the point that you get to the dreaded place of complacency, and you'll feel like you want to get out of your business because you won't feel like you're moving forward. And the reality is you aren't, because all you are doing is surviving and treading water. You need to be planning ahead. You need to be thinking about the next best thing. You need to be making sure you're working smartly, and all of that comes through careful planning, not only day-to-day planning, but planning ahead. Now, usually I recommend that you don't do any planning ahead apart from sort of big vision-y stuff, more than sort of 3 months, 90 days in advance, because the reality is that we evolve, or businesses evolve, things evolve at such a pace that it's impossible really to know where you're going to be in a year's time. So if you start by religiously saying, I'm going to set myself some 90-day goals, and then review those, and then you know what, when you work out where you've gone with that, now you can set yourself another 90-day goals, and those might be similar or they might be quite different. But the important thing is that you need to have a plan. You need to be a woman or a man with a plan, and you need to make sure that you are doing that on a regular basis and reviewing it and rewarding yourself when you meet some of your goals. Because again, with our children, you wouldn't think of setting them something to do at school, and when they do it, not giving them a clap or rewarding them or telling them how well they've done. But with ourselves, we find that quite hard to do. So make sure that you are setting time in your diary for your own business planning, your own business strategizing, and for reviewing and looking ahead, so that you can reward yourself when you meet those business goals, or you do your first Facebook Live, or you smash a challenge that you had in mind. Make sure that you are doing that, because it's an important part of spurring ourselves on, and going back to that survival through self-care. It's going to be pretty hard on yourself to be working all this time and not really feeling rewarded at all. We don't get end of year reviews or appraisals when you run your own business, so how are you rewarding yourself or measuring your success? And what does that success mean to you? So anyway, those are my 10 building blocks for creating your successful business. So it's around understanding your vision, self-belief and confidence, understanding who your ideal client is, really nailing your services and your pricing, thinking about your essential systems and tech that you need to run your business and support others' businesses, really nailing your core business setup, your legalities, your anti-money laundering, your insurance, your data, all of that stuff. Thinking about how you're showing up online, so your branding, your website, your social media, your networking and your relationships, surviving through self-care, best asset, you, and planning ahead. Hopefully that's useful. Does anyone have any questions about this? I know that a few of you are probably sitting there going, it's probably no surprise this is the formula that my nurture program, when I train VAs, follows. We go through all of those as 10 core modules. We have another 6 on top of those around growing businesses and being visible online and various other bits and bobs. But I wanted to share with you what I believe are the 10 core building blocks to running your successful online business. And hopefully that helps you on this sunny Tuesday. If there's no questions right now, what I'm going to do is go offline. You guys can comment still underneath. I'm going to be here, so we can always tap away. But yeah, good luck with launching your business, or if you guys are already running a business, keep up the good work, and we'll chat again soon. See See you later. Bye.